OCG Banlist Fallout. Yeah, I love seeing when prices go sideways. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more of these market watches. And as per usual, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about today's market. Where's TCG Banlist, by the way? I was waiting so patiently, but I guess we're not getting it, as per usual. So, how is Summon Sorceress doing? I actually figured people would be a lot more crazy over this. As of filming this right now, Summon Sorceress is coming about 15 bucks, which is surprisingly not that much. And I actually kind of think that's a good thing, actually, especially, you know, when the ultra rare here probably being one of your more coveted cards. Meanwhile, your super rare, it had a little bit of a spike. I mean, you're coming in, the most I think people spend has been $6. You have some pretty big lines in the sand down here. You have $4.99, along with some other listings down here. So, you know, unless those lines start to get crossed, Summon Sorceress for the super rare, it's not going to cost you more than $5 right now. And that's a good thing. Things like this that typically happen usually end up a lot worse. And I'll consider that a W for today. So, hey, if you need a Summon Sorceress, or if you think one of the combo variants is up there, okay. Oh, man. Quarter century... You know what's very interesting about this? These... $500... That's a huge fall. Like, that's a lot worse than I thought that this would be. But by Konami limiting it to 2 in the OCG, it spooked everybody. I don't know why, but so many people are so scared right now. And on the back end of this, we saw the card fall down to about 100. Your last sales were 105, 102, 95. As of filming this, I see that we are starting to retrace back up. I would say that the initial scare that people felt and the knee-jerk reaction, we have started to go back up. Yeah, you're hitting about 105 again. You might see this probably hit 110 again by the end of the week, but a lot of people's initial reaction is, oh, I gotta sell it now. And it's like, you don't have a potential reprint for this coming for at least, you know, 3 to 4 months. That's if they choose to put it in battles, and if not, then, you know, you see the initial print for it in the tins in September. It's March right now. All right, like, relax. But interesting stuff. Oh, this one's funny. I don't know if you've been paying too much attention to this, because I definitely have not. Mausoleum of the Emperor, and this reminds me, you know, the Horus control deck is definitely still sitting here in the back of the room. A lot of people are, I mean, still hyped for it, right? I mean, and it's definitely proving here that people, look at your sales data for this. You know, it's not very consistent, but I mean, they do sell pretty much every single day at some sort of capacity here, and you know, you're starting to see $3 to $4 a copy of this right now. So I found that interesting that we still have this initial wave of hype for the Horus deck, and I think that's good. And, you know, especially with a ban list going around here soon, a lot of people are like, well, you know, this isn't technically going to get hit on the list. There's absolutely no reason for Konami to be able to hit any of the Horus cards. Valsadina Pachycephalo Secret Rare is too much money. This was brought to my attention that these things are pre-selling at $20, and there's only one sale at the $19.99. But when you think about this for a second, I mean, your original Valsadina was so much money. I also like the fact that you have to search these. The original Valsadina is going to cost you, well, for a mod flay, $50. Well, that $20 looks a lot more enticing now. You know what I mean? And it's also got the more modern era frame. If you're wanting first, I mean, you're looking at like 90 on up to 130 to get these. And also get Italian copies here for $100 each. A little bit worn down, but I mean, that's what you're working with here. Now, on the flip side of the equation down here, I mean, you can still get the pre-order for, wow, $1.98. Woohoo! I guess this is what I live for. 384 listings of this, by the way. Let's jump over here to Midterm Paradox. What is actually $118 for the mini box display, $20 for the Valsadina. I love the Valsadina cost more than the mini box itself. Meanwhile, the Miracle Fusions actually have sales data at 15s. Arm Dragon White level 10 has been selling at 10. The Grand Mole has been selling at 10. The Aqua Dolphin, people actually paid $10 a piece for these. Arcana Force Zawurldo at $5. That's for a common, by the way. Somebody actually paid $5 for a common. That's actually awful. That's not anything I'd want to be doing. Card Trooper Commons, $5. The White Veil is all... How many White Veils sold for $5? One. Alright, this card should not be $5 at all. It has zero application whatsoever. Like, that's awful to actually see. Light Barrier, $3. The fact that a lot of this garbage has, you know, sales is a little bit interesting. Charge of the Light Brigade. How many times do I get to report and go, hey, there is some sort of buyout happening in the Charge of Light? By the way, only 38 listings for this. 73, 65, and 64 are your Unlimaroos. And you do see the $70 one there as we pass it. And you're not touching first eds for any sort of cheap price anymore. You can get a German for $130. Ooh. But English is going to cost you those $220. That is so mind-boggling that you see this card hit these crazy prices. Supers are still up. I mean, yeah, both versions. Sure, it looks like, I mean, your commons are up there, but sure, that's the Charge of Light Brigade situation, I suppose. Do you know, pot collections, I don't know if you remember this or not, but remember when pot collections were $230? I remember. I feel like I blinked, and pot collections are now $250. What? These specialty products, I guess people have just been picking them up over time because it's easier and people wanted the figures, but that's what you're looking at right now. Interesting, I suppose. Moray of Greeds, though, is the thing we want to look at here. $13 on up to $19. You know, I can't really... I know we've talked about you have the Atlantean structure deck coming down the pipeline at some point whenever we actually arrive to it, but to see that, you know, people are this far back ready and we're seeing price spikes this much, that's kind of interesting. But okay. Guardian Chimera collector's rares, $43. I love the $23 here that just messes everything up, and then 22 and 20. I see that. I feel like that's not much of a major change though for Guardian Chimera, all real things considered here. I mean, the sales debt on the CR is nothing to really laugh at either. Okay. Low by obedience. Hey, you can get the Kaiba set ones for $10 right now, on up to $12. Okay, that's a little bit more doable. Your Legendary Collection Kaiba Secret Rares, $6. And then, of course, the Rivals of the Pharaoh coming about $7. It's not awful. It's not amazing, but once this card falls out of the format, it's all over. Nirvana High Pella. Really? I feel like we look at this card in every single market watch for the Secret Rare, and we're like, hey, you know, this card is for, you see your dip back down here, but then you see the dip on up here. So, for, I believe Tenpai Dragons are the things that people are considering trying to play this in. I haven't really seen too much of a combo with it, but, you know, when it comes to the market and you're looking at this card just kind of doing the loop-de-loop, the spinny-roo here, you got to be aware of it. Aroma Therapy Jasmine. We talked about this on Sunday, and it is still going. I do see that some more of the $26 ones did populate, because Sunday morning you did see that this card was hitting, it was what, 125, and then it went up to 30? Yeah, no. Or we're long since calming down here, which I think that's a good thing. Alright, and of course, EMP Meow Mine. 14 listings. I believe that this is starting to go up because it is a very good extender for the options for this deck. You know, you want to make sure you can capitalize and get the best real value off of this. And, I mean, with 14 listings, I mean, I'm not surprised. You have 33 down here, and it is starting to ramp up. I am curious to know where this will end, though. If people are willing to spend $5 a copy of this, I'm curious. Will this hit 10? I don't think it should, but, you know, it is one of the best little free extensions that you could kind of hope for. So we'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think about everything today? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you. Ugh.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.